Jeffrey Dean Morgan's portrayal of Negan is one of the most well-known villains portrayed in television. He's right up there with some of the greats. But what Negan brings to the table that many other villains don't is his redemption, or rather, his multiple attempts at it. Negan was formally introduced in the Season 6 finale. He remains the main villain of the show until the Season 8 finale. However, in contrast to his comic counterpart, Negan's role in the show was a lot more substantial. Instead of him going off on his own, he sticks around and becomes a main cast member. Throughout Season 9, they try multiple times to redeem his character. They make Maggie spare him. He gives advice to Rick. He saved Judith's life. Then, in Season 10, he goes and kills Alpha, effectively giving the advantage back to our group in this war. With all that being said, none of these really worked on me. A lot of them seemed like they were just trying a little bit too hard to make us like him. But in the final episode of Season 10, we got what I believe is one of the best episodes of The Walking Dead. Here's Negan is an adaptation of the comic one-shot with the same name, with a few key differences. The plot of this episode is that Negan's wife, Lucille, has cancer, and she can't survive without her treatments. He goes off to find some more medication for her, but gets captured by a biker gang. As he's being interrogated, we see flashbacks of their time together, and him coming across some other survivors during the beginning of the outbreak. He ultimately gives up these survivors so he can be let go, but when he returns to his wife, it's revealed that she took her own life. Negan then decides to go after the biker gang that held them hostage and save the survivors. He makes his iconic barbed wire baseball bat and takes them out one by one. Up until this point, this is the pretty run-of-the-mill Walking Dead bottle episode. Everything is as you expect. However, when the leader of the gang is the last survivor, Negan decides to tell him a story. This story he tells him is talking about how before the apocalypse, Negan and his wife were at a bar, playing her favorite song. A man who was being obnoxious didn't let them enjoy the song, so Lucille gets up to ask him to be quiet. He chose to be rude to her, which causes Negan to get up. Negan then tells the biker how the myth of seeing red when you're angry is true, and how he was wailing on this man to no end. Negan then says he took $1 from his wallet and played the song twice. This action of taking the $1 is directly related to Negan's ideology with the Saviors. They take half of everything the community has. They don't need it, but it's instilling fear and teaching some weird twisted lesson. It would have cost this man 50 cents to just play the song again, but now it costs him $1 in the beating. Negan could only take a small amount of resources, but he takes half of it and torments everyone involved so they don't revolt. He talks about how this got him fired from his job as a gym teacher. He got sued, and this left Lucille to pay this guy's medical bills. Negan then goes on to say that in this new world, no one is keeping track. No one is getting fired, no one is suing, and no one is keeping score. There are no morals. And now, when he sees red, it's a question to what he's capable of. He ends off this monologue with a very important remark about how at this point he thinks he can do anything. And this is the point where Negan's character clicked for me. We have followed Rick's group since the beginning. We have seen Rick lose his wife, his son, and his friends alike. But the key difference is Rick still had his group. He had Glenn, Daryl, Carol, everyone else. They kept him from becoming a monster. There are multiple moments where you can see Rick do the impossible. When he goes out to face the Horde invading Alexandria, for example. However, Negan didn't have anyone. He was alone. He had no one to pull him back. This led him to become the man we see when we first met him. Yes, he killed Glenn, but Rick and Maggie have killed dozens of people by this point. You don't see them feeling much remorse for it. The people they killed had a family, lovers, and people who care about them. Everyone does. Glenn did, you and I do, but they're in the apocalypse. Negan didn't need Maggie to forgive him. He needed to forgive himself. He knows that he's fine with his decisions, and he can only look forward and try to atone from them. Multiple members in the community have welcomed him in as one of their own. Before Dead City regressed Maggie's character, she and him had come to an understanding. And I get it. A lot of people still can't stand Negan. I really get it. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. But this storyline really opened up my perception of the character. I like how Carol is the one who welcomes him back and treats him like a human. Carol killed 2 people in our group at one point. Tyrese forgave her. She saved the group. She let go of her trauma and became a better person. Her seeing Negan going through the same arc and helping him along the way was a very nice thing to see. This episode ends with Negan giving a heartfelt speech to the Lucille bat as a goodbye to his wife. He burns the bat. He then walks back into Alexandria, and after a brief exchange with Carol, he gives Maggie a warm but somewhat mocking smile as the episode cuts. I think the overall theme the writers are trying to show us is that it's never too late. You can make a lot of mistakes. You can hurt someone intentionally or unintentionally, but you can at least try to make amends and atone for it. Negan tried to atone for his sins. He tried, and he made peace with them, even if Maggie didn't. But he tried. Maybe you've hurt someone. Maybe you've said some things you regret. Maybe you're on bad terms with someone you were once close with. Go ahead and shoot them a text. Apologize for your behavior. Own up to it. Be the better person. They might not accept your apology. They might still hate you. But you tried. You took the first step down a long road.